Oh, it's recording already. Hello. Hello. What's up, everybody? Hi. Soothing happy thoughts for the baby. What's up, everybody? I hope you're doing well. This is officially my first real video that I'm filming after maternity leave or during maternity leave. I'm not even sure which one it is. It just kind of fluid. I'm filming as I feel like it and as she lets me. Right now she's sleeping in the carrier, so she's going to be my little buddy for this video. I am filming this the same day that I filmed that giveaway video, which probably went up like weeks ago. Anyway, I'm easing into it, so rather than diving into my usual content that you typically see with my how-tos and all my editing and my cool lights, because I don't have any of my lights set up today, I thought I would ease into it with a fun video and answer 10 questions about myself. And hopefully these are answers that you don't know about me, so why not? It just seemed fun to me. Hopefully it's fun for you to watch, so keep watching to hear me answer 10 random questions about myself. Welcome to Private Practice Skills. I'm Dr. Marie Fang, psychologist in private practice. I post videos offering tools I learned the hard way about starting and growing private practice so that you don't have to. I almost forgot my little spiel because it's been so long. So let's go into the first question. What is a random fact about yourself? Random fact, I am like super really into knitting, crocheting, all kinds of textile crafts, macrame. Oh, I've been into this stuff ever since I was a little kid, and anytime there's like a new textile craft that I come across, I get super obsessed. Like, I could stay up until 2 a.m. working on a knitting project or something like that after I learn a new stitch or a new design that looks really exciting. So yeah, I'm super into that. Number 2, if you were an animal, what animal would you be? I feel like this is just kind of a simple answer, but I think I would want to be a cat for 2 reasons. 3 reasons. One reason, I love cats. A second reason is that growing up, I wanted a cat super, super, super bad, but I wasn't allowed to have any pets. But all of my neighbors around my parents' house had cats, outside cats, so I would come home from school, go into my backyard, and I would call for the cats, and sometimes 1, sometimes 2, and sometimes 3 cats would show up when I called because we were buddies, and they would come sit in my lap, and I would pet them, and I thought it was the best. And a third reason why I would love being a cat is because it's like socially appropriate for a cat to just lie in a corner and be a blob for like 23 hours a day. That sounds great. Okay, number 3, what advice would you give to your 16-year-old self? I think, honestly, this isn't profound, but I think I would just say, hey, Marie, everything's going to turn out okay in the end. And that would have been kind of like groundbreaking for me to receive that piece of information, that knowledge about the future. Not just that it would be more than okay, because it's great right now, but I was in a really down place. I was super anxious as a teenager. I had really low self-esteem, and I had this fear, which was clearly not rational, that I would just like never amount to anything or accomplish anything. I always struggled in school, and just, I don't know, I just thought I wasn't gonna like be successful as an adult, meaning like even just like, I don't know, successful at like a really low bar, like able to provide for my basic needs, which just sounds ridiculous now. So if I had heard that everything was going to be okay, let alone more than okay, which it is, that would have just been such a relief. Okay, number 4, what is your greatest passion? Oh, I get the most fired up about helping people discover the core of who they are and then teaching them how to live out their best selves through all their choices, behaviors, activities in life. That's what I do with Private Practice Skills. That's what I do as a therapist. And honestly, that's what I do with like my friends and myself too, because I need those. I'm human too. I need that help too. I just really, really, really love helping people get in touch with who they are and living that out to the fullest, whatever that means for each person. All right, number 5, what is your biggest pet peeve? I thought about this a bit because I think I have a lot of pet peeves, and I'm kind of like finicky and particular. I don't love that about myself, but it's true. But I think my biggest pet peeve, and by biggest I mean the one that comes up most often, is when I'm in a public setting where there's other people around and the other people don't seem to be particularly considerate about this physical space that they're taking up, and as a result, it's disruptive to me in some way. So as a for example, which happens all the time, if you're in the grocery store and somebody else parks their grocery cart like in the center of the aisle rather than like kind of to the side, such that in order for me to get through with my cart, I either need to move their cart or go ask the person to move their cart. Ugh, that is such a pet peeve of mine. I'm like, don't you know other people are in the grocery store, and if you leave your cart there, no one's going to be able to get by, and we just have to wait for whenever you feel like moving it. That's how my brain filters that moment. I know the other person just didn't cross their mind. Number 5, where do you see yourself in 5 years? I've thought about answering the question like, where do I see myself in 10 or 20 years? But in all honesty, I can't even genuinely tell you where I want to be in 5 years, let alone be able to like fortune tell where I'm actually going to be in 5 years, because I have so many interests. At this point, could be any number of things because I have so many dreams that I want to happen, and I know they can't all happen in one lifetime. But as for examples, it could just kind of be expanding on what I'm already doing, like growing my private practice with employees or taking on supervisees, or it could be expanding PrivatePracticeSkills into something bigger than what it is now. I don't know. But I also really have this dream of having a ranch someday and like maybe using the ranch as a therapeutic tool while also being a working ranch, or similarly kind of developing a garden space that's confidential that can be utilized for therapy safely while also being intermingled with the community somehow, like a community garden. Oh, I have so many ideas, and I have like other business ideas, or I could just like make crafts and sell them if there was like a way for that to be proprietary enough and make a living, which I've tried before, and it's actually really hard to do. At least it was for me. I could trail off on that forever. So to sum up, I have absolutely no idea where I'll be in 5 years, but I hope that I will just continue living out whatever is bringing me the most joy, offering the most meaning for me, while also being available to my family in the ways that they need me at that time in life. So number 7, what is your favorite hobby? This kind of changes in different phases of life, but this has been the same now for several years, and that's gardening, which I kind of hinted at that in the last question. I love gardening so much. I just kind of get lost in it. I could just be watering a plant or weeding. I could be putting together an arrangement of succulents, and I just get sucked in. Number 8. Oh, what is your Enneagram type? I know, like, Enneagram is so trendy, especially among therapists. I am Enneagram type 4, wing 3. Type 4, wing 3. If you're not familiar with the Enneagram, type 4, which is the individualist, is somebody who thinks they're like a special unicorn, like nobody else is like them and nobody understands them, but they're also like really special, and that's how I feel about myself. Let me know in the comments what Enneagram type you are. That'd be an interesting question to find out. Number 9, what do you think people most misunderstand about you? I feel like this is a great follow-up to the last question, since generally speaking, I kind of feel misunderstood about most things in life. That's just my personality. But if I had to peg what I feel most misunderstood about, it's my personality, particularly in the sort of front-facing parts of me, like the parts that I put out in front of PrivatePracticeSkills on video, things like that, that people might misunderstand me and thinking that I'm a very like go-getter, extroverted, kind of loud personality, and that is like a facet kind of who I am, but in reality, I'm a highly sensitive homebody. Like, I love staying at home. I have a highly sensitive personality, which means if I go out into a crowd of people, my energy drains like that. And I have to buffer times that I'm in big crowds before and after with time at home by myself in order to kind of like regroup and be okay. Like being in a busy mall or being in the airport when there's a lot of people there, that just drains me so fast. And that's why PrivatePracticeSkills actually works really well, because even though I'm talking to the masses in some ways, I'm literally just talking to my camera. There's nobody else here but me and my daughter for now. So that works well. So people might think I'm super extroverted, but honestly, I'm like sitting on the couch knitting whenever I can and gardening by myself. Oh, it's the dream. So now you know that about me. Okay, what else? Last one. What's one of your biggest quirks? Well, as we discussed in the Enneagram question, I think I have all kinds of quirks. But if I had to name what I perceive, at least, as one of my biggest quirks, it's that I have some pretty big opinions about a lot of things, and I have a big mouth about those opinions in such a way that I get myself in trouble all the time for saying things that in the moment I don't even realize are maybe just unpopular or hurtful sometimes, or just loud. Like, I really think I'm right, and let me just make that clear and announce it to the world. I've gotten myself in trouble in so many workplace settings in the past where I've been loudmouth about my opinion, and sometimes it gets me in trouble. So that's probably one of my biggest quirks. That's the 10 questions I'm answering for today. Really, honestly, this video is just like a trial run for me to get my feet wet, film a video again, because honestly, I kind of almost forgot how to do it, but I think I did it. I don't know, we'll see. But I hope it's also fun for you to hear some things about me that maybe you didn't know about. And before we close this video, I'd like to thank TherapyNotes.com for sponsoring this video. TherapyNotes helps you with all of your practice management needs, from scheduling to notes to billing, and they have a free HIPAA-secure telehealth platform for all of their users. If you'd like to check out Therapy Notes, you can get 2 months to try it for free with no commitment just by clicking the link in the description of this video. Well, I hope you found this video helpful and maybe you learned something new about me that was fun to hear or interesting. Let me know in the comments your answer to one of these questions, like what Enneagram type you are, because I love hearing about that. I have this theory that like most therapists are Enneagram type 4. But that's just, maybe that's really narcissistic of me. I don't know. Let me know. And until next time, from one therapist to another, I wish you well. And the wing 3, which oops. Hello.